Hi, welcome to Broken Silence. I'm Sanyya Gardez. Today we're talking about skin lightening. British Asians are still holding on to the notion that somehow fairer skin makes you more desirable. Joining me now is Abdul Alim from UK Skin Lightening. Abdul, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us the name speaks for itself, but tell us a little bit about your company.
Well, we've been developing and selling skin lightening products for the last 5 years in the UK and all over the world. Our customers consist mainly of women and a small percentage of men. And that's it really. We really focus on skin lightening.
Now, there's people that are watching us and they're probably thinking, why aren't we just happy being Asian? Asians are not white-skinned. We're not all fair. So why aren't we just being more accepting of the color of the skin that we're born in?
Well, first of all, I think we've got to separate being happy with your skin. First of all, there's a group of people that want to be able to correct their skin. So, for example, they were darker through going out in the sun, or they've got pigmentation, or they've got melasma. And there's another group of people that want to enhance their skin tones. And I think that is the group that is causing a slight kind of a stir in the community.
When you say enhance your skin, you're just saying lighten their skin.
That's right, yeah. Obviously, to lighten it is seen as to enhance it in the skin lightening world.
See, now, I mean, is it our culture the only culture obsessed with fair skin?
It's not just the Asian culture, it's also the black culture, it's also the East Asian, the Chinese, the Japanese, they're all obsessed with skin lightening.
What prompted you to go into skin lightening? I mean, how did you get started? What inspired you?
Well, what inspired me was my habits of holidaying. I was out of the country for about a good 6 months, travelling all around the world. And when I came back, my parents and my siblings couldn't recognise me. And it was quite worrying. I thought, have I become that dark that they can't recognise me? And that kind of prompted me to try and find something in the marketplace. And it was so difficult for me to find something that would lighten my skin, so I thought there must be something. And there were a few products available all over the world, but not in the UK. So I decided maybe there's a market there for me, because obviously I've been in business. And that's what I did. I researched all the products and the ingredients, and I went to dermatologists in the US and in Japan and formulated this new product.
Well, non-Asians who would walk into a store and see a product for skin lightening would just assume that we're not happy being Asian and we just want to be white. Do you think that's what it is?
I don't think it's not happy being Asian. I think everyone wants to get to a certain skin color, someone that's very, very fair.
But if you're a South Asian, you're from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, naturally you're not going to have really, really fair skin, just because of where we're based and the sun exposure that we get. So in a sense, I mean, we're kind of going against genetics, going against nature, and in a sense, we are trying to be white.
Well, there is a common misconception. People think that everyone wants to be white. Nobody really wants to be white. They want to be an olive tone, a kind of a bronze color. Mm-hmm. So people that are darker want to get lighter, and people that are lighter tend to want to get darker.
But how many Asians do we know that are really fair-skinned that think that it's not a good thing? Not many.
To be darker, or
to be fairer. I mean, I don't think there are many fair-skinned Asians who think that they would rather be darker.
Not at all. I mean, the fairer-skinned Asians are usually happy with their complexion, and it's only the darker-skinned Asians that want to be lighter. Maybe
do you agree then? Do you agree with the idea that fair skin does make you more attractive?
I think it's something that's in the media and all over your face, and I think the history has kind of put it into our subconscious and drilled it into us that fair skin in the Asian community, to be fair, is to be beautiful.
Where do you think it started from? Do you think it started from when the British were ruling and they were in power, so we just assumed that to be powerful and to be respected, we needed to be fair?
I don't think it's as deep-rooted as that. I think maybe when the peasants are working in the field, they get darker skin, and the people that stay at home get lighter skin. So maybe it's more of a caste system, or maybe finance and wealth. Mm-hmm. To show that I've got fairer skin because I stay at home.
Yeah.
So it could be as deep-rooted as that.
But obviously now, we don't have people in England working in the fields and the master in the house, and that obviously has nothing to do with it anymore. However, we were, as we were speaking before the show, when you look at a matrimonial ad, one of the requirements is that the girl be, or the guy, be fair. So we're still kind of attaching that importance to skin color when you would think it would be such an outdated notion that wouldn't apply anymore. But even this generation of Asians still feels the same way. Do you see it changing?
Well, I don't see it changing for another 100 years at least. But we've got to understand is, first of all, this generation is usually only the second and third generation. So there's a lot of influences from back home in Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India that have been brought over. Obviously, that's influencing the minds of these young people.
Mm. So you don't think that the beauty ideals are going to change anytime soon?
Not at all.
Not
in
even
the
with
next
not
10
even people
generations.
like Bibasha Basu, who are...
Well, Bipasha Basu is a dark actress, but if you look at her Bollywood movies, they have pasted white makeup onto her to make her look lighter skinned.
How
So again,
politically
it's still not,
incorrect is that, right?
So it's still not acceptable, even though a beautiful actress has dark skin, it's still not acceptable, and especially in India. And I found that most of my customers are from India.
Really?
Of Indian origin.
To tell us a little bit about your customer base, you have both men and females that come to you, right?
Yeah, mostly women. I said over 90% of our customers are women, and less than 10% are men. And if you segment them by their ethnic origin, say for example from Bangladesh, Pakistan, most of them are from India. Well, their parents are from India, and that could be due to the fact that India has a caste system. That could be something that's pushing it, but we've not done enough research to find that out yet.
Yeah, we just did a show on caste, and that topic did come up. That's, it's a belief that if you're a higher caste, you'll be lighter skin. If you're, a lower caste, you'll be darker skin. But there are Pakistanis. If you go to Pakistan, if you go to Karachi, you'll still see skin lightening all over the place. And we were talking about the big mainstream companies that do skin lightening but are too afraid to bring it over to Europe. Can you tell us about that?
There's a lot of big companies in the South Asian countries, such as L'Oreal and Garnier. They've got products that lighten the skin, but at the moment they're too afraid to bring it into the UK because they know they'll face a backlash from the media, and they'll be slated by all sorts of individuals. I think they're waiting for someone to kind of dip their toes into it and kind of take that the slating from the media, and then for them to then come into the market.
Have you taken a slating from the media?
I have. This is my 7th interview, so I've taken quite a slating from the media.
You've had to defend yourself quite a bit.
I have, yes. But I believe that as long as it's safe and it's legal and it works, that should be the only thing that matters.
I'm coming back to the same point, and I think this is it's just not me. A lot of people will agree with me that we should just be happy with the skin that we're born with, the color that we are. And I think that this notion of being fairer gives a lot of females, especially, in a complex, because you have to then use a skin lightening cream to correct something that's looked at as a deformity in a sense.
Yeah.
So do you think that you're kind of encouraging that idea that that you have to be fair to be attractive?
I wouldn't say we're directly encouraging the idea, but half of the customers are, remember, corrective and the other ones are enhancement. I think for that segment of the customer base, we are kind of promoting it and saying, well, you should be lighter skinned. But interestingly enough, we've done some research on an asianforum.co.uk, which basically has a number of Asian people going on there, and we did some research based on young Asian men, and they tend to prefer lighter skinned females.
But how come? I mean, there non-Asians, the white community, they're lying on beaches trying to get darker, and here we are going the other way trying to get lighter. So where does why is it that Asian men prefer fairer skin?
I think everyone's trying to get to this middle ground, not too dark and not too light. Everyone's trying to be bronze and tan.
I don't know if I agree with you on that, because I know we've talked about the bronze skin color, and that's the most desirable skin color, but I think that the fairer you are in our culture, it's actually looked at as a good thing, regardless of what else you look like. It doesn't matter what your features look like or what your body's like. If you've got, fair skin, you're beautiful.
I think that's certainly true. In the first